Hello and welcome back to Vault Holocron, where today I am going to explain the Basilisks. Basilisks are the sentient humanoids originating from the planet Ojum. Basilisks stood at 1.88 to 2.36 meters tall on average, could have brown, green or orange skin, black or brown hair, brown, orange or yellow eyes, had 4 arms, of which there were 2 superior and 2 inferior arms, had 4-fingered hands, wide mouths, an inflatable wattle, and a bony head crest. Basilisks were known for being hard workers and industrious. The planet Ojum is home to the Basilisks and was located in the galaxy's deep core. Now I am going to explain notable Canon Basilisks. First up is Barpa, a male veteran that was good friends with Lando Calrissian. Next is Draka, a male which owned and cooked for Draka's diner in Goose City on the planet Goose. The diner remained open for many years due to Draka's good cooking and physical strength. In roughly 11 BBY, Canon Jarrus ate at the diner when the criminal Charco tried to lure him out of the building for a fight. However, Draka scared off Charco when he moved to arm himself. After finishing eating, Canon went to go fight Charco before paying, and so Draka grabbed Canon. Later that day there was Imperial presence in Ghoul City, with the Empire hunting down the explosives expert Skelly, who was supposed to be in captivity. This Imperial presence was preventing people from coming to Draka's diner, causing it to close down. Draka found Skelly in his diner and was unhappy to see him, but helped him in hopes that it would cause the Empire some trouble. However, after a meeting with the Imperial Count Demetrius Vidian, in which Skelly was almost killed, Skelly set off charges. This explosion set a fire to Draka's diner and caused a freezer to fall on Draka, pinning him down. Canon Jarrus found and freed Draka. Draka confronted the Empire about his property damage, but it was no use. Now for Fetaya, a female arms dealer that founded and ran Fetaya's Hollow. This business ran for decades. When she was younger, she accepted a job with Billa Valence, a bounty hunter. However, Valence was shot down and captured during the mission, causing the mission to be a failure and Fetaya to flee. At one point in time, she worked with the criminal syndicate, the Hidden Hand, to supply weapons for them. At another point in time, Valence came to Fetaya's Hollow. Valence asked for sonic cannons, which Fetaya provided, saying the cost was on the Hidden Hand. Fetaya went on to explain that soon everyone will work for the Hidden Hand. Fetaya also drew a rebellion symbol while discussing the collection of her latest shipment and her Hidden Hand contact. Fetaya then turned on Valence, saying how she was left with nothing when their previous job failed, and that she was going to enjoy killing Valence. However, Valence had allowed the Empire to track him there, and so the Empire destroyed Fetaya's Hollow, and Darth Vader interrogated Fetaya for information on the Hidden Hand and their outposts, before choking her to death. Next up is Gadron, a male from Corellia. He and his family were sold into slavery, and he later joined the Rebel Alliance. He served in the 61st Mobile Infantry, also known as the Twilight Company. Not long after joining the Twilight Company, he was part of a campaign on Ferroc Pax. Gadron would often sing in the trenches to keep the morale high. Gadron later helped with open recruitment on the planet Crucible, where he recruited Hazram Namir. Namir moved up the ranks and eventually became the first sergeant of the Twilight Company. Gadron also fought on Hydoral Prime and Inayusu Tor, and lost one of his 4 arms fighting. Next is Gord Gralick, a security chief for Moonglow Polychemical, a mining and refining company on Gorse, and his wife, Lau Gralick, the chief operations officer. Lau Gralick was a female basilisk that had worked for Moonglow and its predecessor for 20 years. Gord was present when Canon Jarrus turned in Skelly to Moonglow at Moonglow's spaceport. Skelly had caused a lot of problems, including causing a cave-in with a staged test bombing and assaulting stormtroopers. Lau contacted Imperial Count Demetrius Vidian and told him that they had Skelly. Vidian informed her that he would be touring Moonglow Polychemical within the next 12 hours. Lau got Gould to remove Skelly's gag. Skelly threatened to expose their negligence at their mining firms on Cinder. They were then attacked by a gang called the Sarlaccs. While they were fighting, Hera rescued Skelly. The Sarlaccs were a subversion planned by Hera. Vidian arrived for the inspection and was not pleased with Skelly being missing. Vidian met Skelly during this tour, with Skelly almost dying. Later, Vidian killed Lau by throwing her into a vat of xenoboric acid, after she said that Moonglow couldn't handle the output wanted by the Empire. Gord heard the screams of Lau and came to try and save her, and was going to dive into the vat, but was stopped by Hera. When he witnessed Lau's death on the security footage, he was angry and ordered the stormtroopers to arrest Vidian. But when Gord tried to follow Vidian, he was beaten up by 4 stormtroopers. At the Imperial spaceport, Gord tried to have Vidian arrested again, but Vidian ordered his stormtroopers to shoot Gord. After a fight, Vidian killed Gord by punching him to death with his metal fists. Now for Humph, a basilisk that lived on Nar Shaddaa, a moon of Nal Hutta. He was a member of a group of criminals called Jiga's Squad. Humph and other members of Jiga's Squad fought the bounty hunter Forlom after Dr. Kriberis Idolax had reprogrammed him to kill the bounty hunter Zuckuss. Zuckuss killed Idolax while Humph and the others fought Forlom. Zuckuss freed Forlom from the command that was controlling him. Next up is Dexter Jettster.
Wow! What do you know?
The male which went from working on the black market to running his own diner. When he worked on the black market, Jettster was a prospector on the planet Subterrul. He joined the crew of Logrib, a male Mikian. They were sent to mine an energy source that was unknown to them. There, Jettster found a group of 7 younglings and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Logrib valued the job over the younglings' safety, being prepared to leave them to die. Jettster, along with help from Kenobi, brought together the crew and the younglings to overthrow Logrib. They then left Logrib on the collapsing planet. Dexter Jettster also helped Kenobi get the younglings to safety. He worked with Kenobi on other missions as well. Later, Dexter set up Dex's Diner on Coruscant. He was known for having the best Nerf burgers, with people from all over the galaxy coming to his diner. When there were thieves in his area, he organised a sting operation with Kenobi. When Tri-Telon pickpocketed Kenobi, Jettster helped track down Tri. After an assassination attempt on Padme Amidala, Kenobi came to Jettster to get help in identifying a poisoned dart, which Jettster determined to be from Kamino. After the Clone Wars started, Jettster struggled to get some of his ingredients, and so had to run a limited menu. During the time of the Empire, Jettster purchased a book, which would later go on to be known as the Smuggler's Guide, a journal owned by many pirates, smugglers, and criminals, who each added their own information to it. He bought it because he saw Maz Kanata's name on the first page. When he heard about illegal cyborg mods, he investigated it. He found out that Crimson Dawn was hiring workers to mine ore in their ore hub. At the ore hub, he rescued a Rhodian worker, and the pair of them went to the spaceport together. Jetster contacted a politician he was friends with to inform them of the ore hub. The politician sent a ship to collect Jetster and the Rhodian, and Jetster provided surveillance scans of the hub. He went to Rasha's Rest Cantina, where he met the hunter Tyro Viveka, who stole the smuggler's guide. Dex's diner closed by 4 ABY. Next is Plun Kill, a Jedi Master during the time of the Clone Wars. He fought as a general. From time to time he carried 4 lightsabers, 3 blue, 1 green. Now for Pong Krell, a Jedi Master during the time of the Clone Wars, in which he fought as a general. Krell had a lot of victories to his name, but high casualties of clones. At one point in time, Krell turned to the dark side and had a premonition, in which he saw the Jedi Order destroyed, the Republic destroyed from the inside, and a new order take over. He acted as a Jedi Master, but secretly wanted to become the apprentice of Count Dooku, so that he could be powerful in the new order. Krell sabotaged the Republic war efforts secretly. Palpatine was aware of Krell's high clone casualty numbers, but left him to do what he wanted. When Anakin Skywalker was recalled to Coruscant from his mission on Umbara, Pong Krell took control of the 501st. Like usual, Krell went about sabotaging the clones, placing them in unfavourable situations, and forbidding them to retreat. When clones wanted to use stolen Umbaran ships to help in the war effort, Krell refused their request. A few troops secretly used the ships anyway, and were successful in helping the war effort, but Krell locked them up for this. He later ordered Jesse and Fives to be executed. The clones refused to kill Jesse and Fives. After this, Krell sent the clones to go fight what he told them was Umbarans wearing clone armor, when in actuality they were killing other clones. This caused Rex to realize that Krell was intentionally sabotaging the clones. With the combined strength of the 501st and the 212th, the clones captured Krell. They imprisoned Krell in an airbase, where Krell told the clones about his premonition and how he would soon be an apprentice under Dooku. Angry, Dogma asked how Krell could abuse the clones' loyalty and trust. Later, Rex held Krell at gunpoint. Krell taunted Rex, saying that he wouldn't go through with it. Rex lowered his blaster, but Dogma shot Krell in the back. This caused Dogma to be arrested, but Rex acknowledged that Dogma did the right thing. Next up is Quinny, a bartender that worked on the Bruxdion, a New Republic space station. Next is Reagan, a criminal doctor that worked on Nar Shaddaa. At one point in time, he sponsored a warrior in the Kakata fighting arena. However, his warrior was killed by Wyman Lichter, losing Reagan a lot of credits. When Boba Fett was transporting Carbonite Han Solo, he came to Reagan when the Carbonite was getting unstable. Reagan told Fett that he could stabilize Solo, but that he needed his credits first. Boba Fett didn't have enough credits on him, so he accepted a job from Reagan to kill Lichter. Boba Fett thought that his armor would be too recognizable, and so Reagan provided Boba Fett with nano spray paint so that he could pretend to be someone else. Fett went into the fighting arena. While Fett was doing this, Reagan stabilized the Carbonite. Reagan spoke to the bounty hunter, Diva Lompop, about how he stabilized Solo, causing Lompop to contact Crimson Dawn and tell them the location of Solo. Fett, having killed Lictor, went to meet Reagan, only for Crimson Dawn to attack, kill Reagan, and steal Solo. Now for Roik, a male student at a school on the desert planet Morokia. He bullied Karnuk Sin, a Force-sensitive student. Next up is Snez, a female which worked as muscle for Club Deja in the city Keren, on Naboo. The club was run by Mul Sanaka, with Uwa Paris getting the musical talent. She chose the Melodic Order, a band that played Alderaanian music. Paris never told them about the destruction of Alderaan, so their music would be unaffected. Leia was directed to Snez and Sanaka by Lord Jun when looking for Alderaanians that survived the planet's destruction. However, Jun got in contact with Sanaka to plot a plan to have Leia killed. Leia came to the club and pretended to be an Imperial officer. Snez and the guards allowed her entry. Snez made Leia hand over her weapons. However, Snez accidentally called Leia a princess, letting her know something was wrong. Leia and her crew fought all of the club workers around her. Sanaka then went to shoot Leia, but was killed by Paris. The Melodic Order then went with Leia in hopes of finding more Alderaanians. Next is Unidentified Basilisk, a male that killed Sulo's parents. Now for Gallus Vez, a starship parts dealer that owned Osis' station, a space station in orbit of a ringed planet in the Regani sector. He had his own private racecourse, called Fool's Run, which he would often challenge people to race around, with him winning every single race, sometimes using hidden asteroid thrusters hidden in the course. He frequently worked with the rebels on Lothal, the Ghost Crew, but later refused to sell them parts due to a growing amount of Imperial inspections on his facility. The rebels really needed parts for their damaged ship, the Ghost. Instead of selling them parts, he made a bet with Hera Syndulla. The pair of them would race around the Fool's Run. If Hera won, he would hand over the parts, but if he won, he would take her ship, the Ghost. Hera won the race, with help from Canon and Ezra directing asteroid thrusters into Vez's ship. But Vez went back on his deal and tried to capture the rebels. However, the rebels were prepared and blew up one of Vez's cargo ships with explosives. This distracted Vez, allowing the rebels to overpower him and his men. The rebels took the parts they needed and left. Vez tried to cover it all up before the Imperial inspections, but missed the Starbird insignia Sabine Wren painted on the outside of the station. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and bye.